Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktiri Bhavati Nayistiki Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hare Krishna to all of you. And thanks for the opportunity. As Vimesha should explain, very auspicious day. Usually, I used to do nirjals before when I was young, but not anymore. But today I'm somehow, as of now, I'm holding on to nirjal. Just pray for me, because as you get older, our senses are not in our control. But somehow, until now, I'm able to do it fasting. So I just want to continue with your all blessings of the devotees. Okay, so very auspicious day. Ekadasi is called Madhava Tithi, right? Madhava Tithi means the day of Lord Sri Krishna. Madhava Tithi Bhakti Janani. When we do, there is a two ways we can acquire pious grades: Jnata Sukruti, Ajnata Sukruti. Right? Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Jnata Sukruti, Ajnata Sukruti. Ajnata Sukruti means that you acquire points without you knowing that you are acquiring the points. For example, we had a Jagannath Yatra before week, and a lot of people take Jagannath Darshan, right? And they don't expect, okay, I just took darshan, they forget. But just taking one time Jagannath darshan, some background noise coming, can you please put on the mute? So one time taking Jagannath darshan, a devotee, he may become a devotee in the next lifetime, but he doesn't know that taking Jagannath darshan will be so important that they may become devotees. That's called Ajnata Sukruti, right? And Jnata Sukruti means that I know I am going to fast on Ekadasi. If I fast, my bhakti increases. We know that in advance that action we are doing that will give some pious credits. So this Jnata Sukruti is very essential for the devotees to further proceed in their devotional services. Especially Ekadasi is very essential. At least, if you have a health problem, start with water. Otherwise, fruits. Otherwise, and the minimum Ekadasi prasadam, no beans and grains. The reason is that the sin personification took a shelter from Supreme Lord, that this day, the sins personification exists in the grains. When you're eating grains today, means you're literally eating sin. Okay? Is that clear message to everyone? Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, you're all great people. I just wanted to re-emphasize the importance of Ekadasi. Okay? So having said that, let's go to our shloka. Are you able to see Bhagavad Gita shlokas here? I'm sharing my screen.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you. Okay, so today the shloka is 521, right? 521, right? Yeah. Okay, so we'll recite shloka, then we'll go to the purport and try to understand on this auspicious day how we can apply this shloka on Ekadasi day to serve the Supreme Lord. Okay? Repeat after me. Bhayasparsheshva hasaktatma Vinadati Atmani Yat Sukham
Vinadati Atmani Yat Sukham
Sabrahma Yoga Yuktatma
Sabrahma
yogo yuktatma
Sukham akshayam hashnute.
Sukham
aksayam
Devotees, all of you, please recite these slokas, because today the Ekadasi, we are reciting the slokas coming from the lotus mouth of the Supreme Lord. There's nothing to be have reservation not to recite slokas. Very auspiciously. A small amount of service done for Supreme Lord today, that's multiplied by 1,000 times. So even if you take a really one-time sloka, that is equivalent to 1,000 times reading sloka. Not in other days, only Ekadasi days. Okay. So repeat after me one more time. Bhayas parshveshu asaktatma vindati atmani yat sukam
vindati atmani yat sukam
sabrahma yoga yuktatma
sabrahma yogo yuktatma
sukam akshayam hashnute.
asnute
Bhayas parshveshu asaktatma vinadati atmani yat sukam
vindati atmani yat sukam
sabrahma yoga yuktatma
sabrahma yogo yuktatma
sukam akshayam hashnute.
sukham aksayam asnute.
A translation by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. Repeat after me. Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure,
Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure,
but is always in trance,
but is always in trance,
enjoying the pleasure within.
enjoying the pleasure within.
In this way, the self-realized person
In this way, the self-realized person
enjoys unlimited happiness,
enjoys unlimited happiness.
for he concentrates on the Supreme.
He concentrates on the Supreme.
Okay, so here, Divine Grace Prabhupada so beautifully putting translation, such liberated person. Okay, so we'll go to the details. Okay, just wanted to highlight liberated person, sense pleasure, trance, okay, self-realized person, unlimited happiness, etc. These are the words here we can highlight and discuss. Okay, before we discussing what I would do, I will go through the purport and see what Divine Grace is saying, and based on that, we'll try to meditate few points. Okay. So purport by Divine Grace Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Yamunacharya, a great devotee in Krishna and consciousness, said, you all know who is Yamunacharya? Hare Krishna. I need responses, yes or no, please. No. Yamunacharya is the Vaishnava Acharya. He is the spiritual master of Ramanujacharya. You know Ramanujacharya? Ramanujacharya is a Sri Sampradaya. And we all know that we have 4 Sampradayas, right? Bona fide Sampradayas: Sri Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Gaudiya Sampradaya. We belong to Gaudiya Sampradaya. And Ramanujacharya belongs to Sri Sampradaya. Doesn't matter which Sampradaya you follow, these 4 are bona fide authenticated Sampradayas. Okay? Everything originating from Lord Sri Krishna. So Yamunacharya is the spiritual master of Ramanujacharya from Sri Sampradaya. Okay? And it's especially, South India, Tirupati, Balaji, whole Sri Sampradaya origin. Okay? So Sri Yamunacharya, a great devotee in Krishna consciousness, said, Yad abadima cheta mama cheta Krishna padara vinde navanava rasa dhamani udyatam rantum asit tad avadi batanari sangame samrayamene bhavati mukha vikara sustu nishtavanam cha. Since I have been engaged, so Yamunacharya is explaining, since I have been engaged in the transcendental loving service of Krishna, realizing ever new pleasure in him. Okay, whenever I think of sex pleasure, I spit at the thought. and my lip curl with a distaste. A person in Brahma Yoga or Krishna consciousness is so absorbed in the loving service of the Lord that he loses his taste for material sense pleasure altogether. The highest pleasure in terms of material is sex pleasure. The whole world is moving under its spell, and a materialistic cannot work at all without this motivation. But a person engaged in Krishna consciousness can work with greater vigor without sex pleasure, which he avoids. This is the test in spiritual, that is the test in spiritual realization. Spiritual realization and sex pleasure go ill together. A Krishna conscious person is not attracted to any kind of sense pleasure due to his being a liberal soul. Okay. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurnimittam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Okay. So Prabhupada is so beautifully explaining, taking example from senior Vaishnava Acharya Yamunacharya. So Yamunacharya, as I said, is the guru of Sri Sampradaya, and explaining so beautifully about how a liberated Krishna conscious person, now we'll come to liberation, okay, we'll define what the liberation, etc., as we move. So here, Yamunacharya clearly explaining that a person who is engaged in Krishna consciousness, if you look at the purport Prabhupada and the translation Prabhupada said, such a liberated soul means a person who is liberation. What is the meaning of liberation? We'll just spend a minute here. The liberation in Krishna consciousness is, as I said again, a liberation is not a renunciation. A liberation is a dedication in Krishna consciousness. You all got the point, right? Liberation in Krishna consciousness is a dedication for Krishna, not the renunciation. What we have the misconception, liberation means, oh, I don't have to accept anything in my life. I don't have to work. I don't have to go to work. I don't have to have a family. I should become a sannyasi, blah, blah, blah. Then I become liberated. Then I'm alone. I can go back to Krishna. That is not the purpose. The liberation means dedication to Krishna. You can be a grahastha with a husband, wife, kids, etc. We all can be liberated when you situated 100% in Krishna consciousness. That's the liberation we are looking for. It's not that you go to Himalayas, you start meditate, you come on that, then you fall down, you come back again here, you mess up everything. That's not liberation. So Prabhupada beautifully put, the liberation in Krishna consciousness is a highest yogi. Why? Because we are practicing Krishna consciousness with 100% faith with families. That is what a highest yogi in Krishna consciousness. Here, such a liberated person, a person who is situated 100% in Krishna consciousness, okay, not attracted to material sense pleasure. What the material sense pleasure is, the definition for material sense pleasure, what I would define is anything that is not connected to Krishna is a material sense pleasure. Because when we try to enjoy with our own senses, okay, for example, I'll show the next example, how Ambarish Maharaj did, okay. So here, the sense pleasure, there's also one shloka I was looking for, Rishikeshena Rishikesha Sevanam, Sarva Upadi Vinirmuktam, means we have different positions in our lives. Okay, I am a president, I am a manager, I am a director, I can control people, okay. You get a pleasure out of doing those. So I'm a boss, I can control this many people. So the pleasure-seeking potency is there, but that is for our satisfaction, our happiness, not for the Krishna's happiness. Okay, but a devotee who is a liberated devotee who is in 100% Krishna consciousness is not attracted to this sense pleasure. When you become a director, oh, I am a director, so you are gaining a sense pleasure out of it. We are not putting Krishna in the center. You think you are the boss, you can control things. Okay, Prabhupada writes beautifully, lording over the material nature. Oh, now I can do anything. Okay, but a devotee who is not attracted to sense pleasure is always in trance. What is the meaning of trance? Trance means that a person who is always remembering Krishna. So what is the Paribhasha Sutra of Bhagavad Gita? Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. If that is your following, then we are in trance. Even though you're working on the computer, I'm working since morning on the computer, doesn't matter, but we are in trance. Why? Our ultimate goal is to satisfy Krishna. The ultimate goal is satisfy Krishna. Look at that, enjoying the pleasure within. We are enjoying pleasure. At the end of the day, my goal is to satisfy Krishna, not for my own sense gratification. Folks, now getting that level, we are all the same. It takes time. It takes time to accept this fact. Now, most of the time when you go to work, you forget everything, but remind yourself, I am working for Krishna. When you sit in front of your computer, I'm working for Krishna. This work is for Krishna. What Lakshmi I get, I go and take samagri and offer to Krishna. This Lakshmi I'm using for the Narayana Seva. That is the trance. It's not that somebody take some this one and going in the trance is not consciousness. No, that's not the trance. Trance means a person who is engaged in Krishna consciousness 100%. Enjoying the pleasure within. You enjoy pleasure within. Why? Because I am serving the Supreme Lord, and Rishikesh Sevanam. He is the master of the senses, is Lord Sri Krishna. I am trying to satisfy his senses, not my senses. See, the problem is when we try to enjoy our senses, we are in the three modes of material nature. Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. But when you're trying to satisfy the senses of Lord Sri Krishna, because you are part and parcel of Lord Sri Krishna, Krishna is a superset, we are a subset. With a superset senses are satisfied, all the subsets in the superset also get satisfied. It means when you satisfy Krishna's senses, our senses automatically get satisfied. There's no, we don't need to have a separate endeavor to satisfy yourself. For example, Semester Prabhu every Saturday without fail he comes and does a yajna. Okay, he's enjoying that. He's enjoying why he's serving the Supreme Lord. He doesn't have to look for happiness somewhere else. Doing itself is the trance. That is the trance. Okay. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness. Now you're all attending. A lot of devotees attending every day these Bhagavad Gita classes. Are we forcing you to attend these classes? Yes, Satyabhama Mataji, somebody is forcing you to attend these classes. Okay, nobody is forcing anyone because you're attending out of your own happiness. They are deriving some happiness out of this one, right? So that's why when you're in situated self-realized person means, so what does it mean of self-realized person? Self-realized person means that basically following the basic tenet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a person who is, what is that? Jivere Swarupere Krishnere Nityatas. A person who is situated in the perfect position of the servant of the servant of the servant. They are called self-realized person. They enjoy unlimited happiness. Why they are called people who are in the servant of the servant of the servant? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains very clearly, Jivere Swarupere Krishnere Nityatas. What is a basic necessary duty of a living entity? Prabhupada also writes the third canto, 9th chapter. Brahma explains very clearly what's the meaning of liberation. Liberation means a living entity situated in Krishna consciousness is a perfect liberation. Because we are all looking for, okay, I want to get liberated, I want to go back to Krishna. See, we think liberation means I don't have to work, I can sleep as long as I want. Okay, the blah, blah, blah. No, that's not a liberation. Liberation means I wanted to be situated in my constitutional position. What is my constitutional position? Jivere Swarupaya Krishnere Nityatas. I am serving Krishna 24/7. So liberation means when you are doing that one, you are perfectly situated. Means your human life is meant for that one. When you are satisfying your basic duty of human life, you are satisfied. No, we do. That's the primary duty of the living entity. The living entity, the purpose of human form of life is self-realization. What is self-realization? I am the servant of the Lord. If that is realized perfectly, you are unlimited happiness. Why? Because I am, for example, you are hired for a Java development program. If you are not doing Java development, you are helping here and there, they will fire you because you are not doing your basic job. Same way, the living entities Krishna is creating here to self-realize. If you are not self-realizing your basic duty, you are doing everything else, but you are not doing this process, means you are wasting your life. Is that clear message to all of you about the liberation means? Situating in our eternal duty to Lord Sri Krishna. That is the liberation. Okay, for he concentrates on the Supreme. In that case, always we are talking about Krishna. Always concentrate on the Supreme. So Ramanacharya also coinciding with the points what Prabhupada explained. Ramanacharya is taking sex pleasure. In this world, everything goes on sex, folks. If you start TV, you see about sexual. You see any presidential debates, know how many affairs you had, how many affairs I had. Only the person who had less affairs, they win the presidency. But still, everybody has an affair. You all agree with me? Everybody. Recently on New York, Giuliani, not Giuliani, this guy who is governor of. Hello, Arini?
Hi.
Hey, I'm in the class. I'll call you back.
Okay, bye.
So this guy, Kumar, somebody, so many sexual scandals came. Everything in India or America doesn't matter. Everybody has sexual affairs, politicians. Those are the people ruling our countries, and what kind of ruling we expect. And look at that, how Yamunacharya explaining, I spit on the thought about the sexual activity. Folks, we can learn about sex from the birds. Birds have sex only when they want to procreate. But human beings are the disgusted people. Disgusted people are human beings, have no limitation for the sex. Prabhupada writes somehow the sex is only meant for the procreation. Beyond that, it's not required. Do you see animals roaming with boyfriend, girlfriend all the time? No, animals have the seasons to mate, and they only sex only for the procreation. They don't do sex for the enjoyment. Only disgusted human beings do that one. So we have to change our attitude about sexuality. Okay? Look at that. The whole world is moving under its spell. Everywhere, if you go to offices, when you go to offices, first they ask you to take some trainings. What the training? Discriminatory training, sexual harassment training. These are the trainings you take wherever you go in corporate America. You all agree with me? So the trainings we take. Why? Because so much rut is going on in the name of sex. Why discrimination on the color? Sexual harassment. You cannot use certain words in the workplace because that becomes a sexual harassment. You go to HR and it becomes back into big problems. Why? Because everywhere this sexual plundering is going on ages and ages. That's why Jamunacharya putting so nicely, the highest pleasure in terms of matter is the sex pleasure, in terms of material. But the whole world is moving under its spell as a sex. But a person engaged in Krishna consciousness can work with greatest vigor without sex pleasure. Prabhupada writes in so many purports, okay, how we have to maintain celibacy, how we have to maintain the tradition of calling Mataji and Prabhuji, how this came into existence. Mataji, ladies, except your wife, everybody is treated as a Mata. These things have come into existence on the basis of this one. So that is the test in specialization. Specialization and sex pleasure go ill together. They cannot go together. Okay, you cannot preach here and you can do other activities side by side. No, we had to be pure. What we speak, I always say BMW, body, mind, words. We should be only Krishna consciousness. A Krishna conscious person is not attracted to any kind of sense pleasure. Why? Because Krishna is our pleasure. Serving Krishna is our pleasure. What kind of sense pleasure we need? Yesterday we met some place, somebody, all the devotees, we are talking so nicely, so happy about Krishna activities, how we serve the temples, etc., etc. That reminded me the shloka from the 8th chapter, Tushanti charamanticha, machita matkata prana, bodhayanta parasparam, katayantasya mam nityam, Tushanti charamanticha. When devotees meet together, we talk about what kind of deities we have, how we are dressing Krishna, how we are doing this one, how we want to serve prasadam. Okay, these are the things we discuss about Krishna. Krishna means not only just deity Krishna. Krishna means paraphernalia of also Krishna. Right? We talk about what kind of dress Krishna wearing, what kind of deities we have, what program we are doing. These are all talking about Krishna. That's why the Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva says, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. He did not say Nityam Bhagavan Sevaya. He said Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Means a seva which connected to Krishna is called Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. That's how this one shloka explaining how a liberated person. Again, liberation means don't mistake, or I'll give up everything, go back to forest. No, liberated person means who is perfectly 100% situated in Krishna consciousness is called liberated person. It means you are situated in your eternal duty, or you are situated in your basic function of what human is supposed to do. That's the liberation. That is serving the Supreme Lord. Okay, so what I would do rest of the time, maybe next 10-15 minutes, I will choose one shloka from Bhagavatam. Okay, actually I'll go 2 slokas. I'll go one here. Okay, a person in 1815 for Krishna so beautifully explained Brahma Bhuta Prasanna. Can you repeat, everyone? Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma
Brahmabhuta
Brahmabhuta
Prasannatma
na shochati na kankshati
na shochati na
Kankshati
kankshati
samasarveshu bhuteshu
Sarveshu
samahasarveshu
Bhutesu
madbhaktim labate param.
Madhvakti Lavate Param.
Repeat translation after me. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once.
One who
One who
is
is just
thus
transcendently situated at
constantly
once
situated at
Lot of echo is coming. Realizes the Supreme Brahman
realizes the Supreme Brahman,
and becomes full joyful.
becomes fully joyful.
He never laments or desires to have anything.
He never laments or desires to have anything.
He is equally disposed towards every living entity.
He is
He
equally
is equally disposed towards every living entity.
In that state, he attains the pure devotional service unto me.
in that
In
state.
that state, he attains the pure devotional service.
Look at that beautifully Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, directly telling that one is transcendently situated, the Supreme Brahman becomes joyful. In the previous shloka, we have seen that, right? A liberated person has no interest in anything else except Krishna. And that person, see, for example, we are in Krishna consciousness. There's nothing like negativity about Krishna consciousness. Everything happens in our life, we take blessing of Krishna, good or bad. See, Krishna is absolute. Absolute means what? For example, you all know, you are all mathematicians. The negative 4 of absolute value is 4. There's nothing like negative 6, if you absolute is 6, right? So there's no negativity. Everything is a positive. The Krishna consciousness is a positive, absolute. Krishna is absolute. There's no negativity. And devotee's life, whatever happens, there's a blessings of Krishna, right? That's why one who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman becomes joyful. Krishna, what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Mat prananadastu sayeva napara. I am yours, Krishna. Do whatever you want me to, but I am yours. Whereas Krishna never does any harmful to his devotees. Only Krishna tries to help us. He never laments nor desires anything. Okay, of course we have desires because we have families, we have desires to take care of families, etc., etc. Beyond that, we have no other interest. He's equally disposed towards every living entity. In the previous shlokas, you have seen that, right? Vidya vinaya sampanne, namo brahmane gavihastine, sunichetapa kaija pandisa samadarshana. You have seen that, if a person who is transcendently situated, he sees everyone is equal vision, chandala, dog eater, etc. Why? Because everybody has Paramatma in their heart. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Okay, of course, I'm not there yet, but this is what Krishna explaining. When he is liberated, when he is depending on Krishna, we never lament, na shochati, na kankshati. Krishna, I am yours. Do whatever you think good for me. Because Krishna never, as a Supreme Father, we have a kids, do we try to do something harm to our own kids? Even though kids are bad, we try to do something good. Right? In the same way, Krishna is our Supreme Father. Yesterday was the Father's Day. Thanking to Krishna is the Supreme Father. We are thanking our Krishna, engaging his devotional service. So Krishna never does anything bad for his kids. And that too devotees. Do you think he's going to do, when we are trying to do his service, do you think Krishna is so mean to do something bad? Krishna says, Aram बोले तो भी Krishna thinks my devotee is calling me. He doesn't take that as a negative word. Aram may be Ram hai. So that merciful Lord Sri Krishna is. And with that merciful Lord Sri Krishna, I know it doesn't take much. For example, you want to please your spouse, you want to please your kids, you want to please your relatives. You have to put so many efforts, folks. But you want to please Krishna. Krishna clearly said, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhakta Prayachati. Hey, give me water, Toyam, give me water, don't mind. But I want your love and affection for me. When you're chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Joyfully call with your heart, Krishna, I am yours. You are only my supreme father. You know, for example, I don't have my parents, but I think Krishna is my father and mother. My spiritual master is my father. Krishna is my eternal father. That way, you surrender 100% to Krishna. I bound to give. I can challenge with you. I can give a blank check that Krishna is there. My Guru Maharaj says Krishna is responsive. He's not a just idol. He's a responsive Krishna. Whatever action we perform, he reciprocates 100 times. Okay, and in the last 5 minutes, I'll just go through one shloka. A pure devotee of the Lord, we all know Ambarish Maharaj, right? So I love this shloka. I know half of it, but we'll recite together on this auspicious. Please repeat after me. Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayor.
Savai Manah Krishna Padara Vindyo.
Vacham Shivai Kuntra Gunana Varnane.
Vacham Shivaikuntha Gunana Varnane.
Karo Harir Manjara Marjana Dishu.
Karo Harer Mandira Marjanadishu.
Shrutim Chakrachita Satkatodaya.
Shrutim Chakrashuta Satyadaya.
Mukunda Lingalaya Darshanadrishu.
Mukunda Lingalaya Darsane Trishu.
Tadbhartya Gatre Sparshe Anga Sangamam.
Tadbhatra Swaste Anga Sangam.
Grahanam cha Tatpada Saroja Saurabe.
Granam Pada Saroja Saurave.
Srimad Tulasya Rasadam Tad Arpite.
Tulasya Rasanam Tad Arpite.
Padau Hare Kshetra Padanusarpane.
Padau Hare Krishna Padane.
Shiro Rushikesha Padabhivandane.
Rishikesha Padabhivandane.
Kamam cha dasena tu kama kamya kamayaya.
Kamam Chadasya Kama Kamaya.
Yato tamashloka janarasya ratihi. So this is Ambarish Maharaj, is a devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. He is a Maharaj. He was ruling the entire kingdom, but he had a Vishnu temple in the backyard. By seeing his devotion, Lord Krishna gave Sudarshan Chakra to him to keep with him all the time. So we'll read the translation, repeat after me. Maharaja Ambrisha always engaged his mind.
Maharaj
Maharaj Amrish always engaged
His mind
In meditating upon the lotus feet of Krishna.
In meditating upon the lotus feet of Krishna.
His words in describing the glories of Lord.
His words in describing the glories of the Lord.
His hands in cleaning the Lord's temple.
His hands in cleansing the Lord's temple.
And ears in hearing the words spoken by Krishna or about Krishna.
Ears in hearing the words spoken by Krishna or about Krishna.
He engaged his eyes in seeing the deity of Krishna.
He engaged his sense of touching
the deity of Krishna.
Krishna's temple and Krishna's places like Mathura and Vrindavana.
Krishna's temples and Krishna's places like Mathura and Vrindavana.
He engaged his sense of touch in touching the bodies of the Lord's devotees.
He engaged his sense of touch in touching the bodies of the Lord's devotees.
He engaged his sense of smell in smelling the fragrance of Tulasi offered to the Lord.
He engaged his sense of smell in smelling the fragrance of Tulasi offered to the Lord.
And he engaged his tongue in tasting the Lord's prasada.
And he engaged his tongue in tasting the Lord's prasada.
He engaged his legs in walking the holy places and temples of the Lord.
He
engaged his legs
engaged
in
in
walking to the holy
walking
places and temples of the Lord.
Lord.
His head in bowing down before the Lord,
His
Head
head
in bowing down before the Lord,
and all his desires in serving the Lord
And
and
all
all
his
his
desires
desires
in
in
serving the
serving the
Lord.
Lord.
24 hours a day.
24
hours.
hours a day.
Indeed, Maharaj Ambrisha never desired anything for his own sense gratification.
Indeed,
Indeed, Maharaj Ambarish
never
never anything for his own sense gratification.
gratification.
He engaged all his senses in devotional service.
He engaged all his senses in devotional service.
In various engagements to relate to the God.
In
In
various
various engagements related to the Lord.
This is the way to increase attachment for the Lord
This is the way to increase the attachment for the Lord
and be completely free from all material desires.
and
and be completely free from all the material desires.
All great devotees, thank you so much for bearing with me. Look at how beautiful translation. Every part of the body of Ambrish Maharaj being used for Krishna, right? You all agree with me?
Yes.
How beautifully his legs for the walk into the temple, his hands for cleaning the temple, his tongue for calling the name of Krishna, his ears for hearing Krishna Katha. Look at that, every part of the body. So we can become like Ambarish Maharaj as well. It's nothing wrong, nothing wrong, nothing is stopping us. Only our free will, which was given by Krishna, we should not misuse it. We should use for Krishna. Savai mana Krishna Padavara Vindya. Always your drishti on the lotus feet of Krishna. What is that famous shloka? Bahur Sinandanandana. Bahur, I forgot the first line. Okay. So that is what explained very clearly. What is that Prabhu Vishnu Prabhu knows very all these songs. Bahure mana Nirandanandana Abhay Charana Aravindare. Always, always you are lotus feet on the lotus feet of Krishna. Okay. This is how we take examples of the Maharaj Ambarish, okay, our divine grace Prabhupada, spiritual masters, put them as our role models, because we have all cinema actors' photos in our rooms. I want to look like Amitabh Bachchan, I want to look like Jaya Vijay, what is that? Madhuri Dixit, blah, blah, blah. All those pictures we have. Nobody puts Krishna's picture and nobody says, I want to follow Krishna. It's the most unfortunate situation for us. And nobody puts pictures of, famous Vaishnava acharyas in the rooms. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, these pictures, they give inspiration for our life and soul. Okay, and this is the way to increase, look at the last line, this is the way to increase attachment for the Lord and completely free from, you see, you don't have to put a special endeavor to become from the material desires. When you're attached to these things, automatically you are detaching from the material desires. You don't have to have a separate endeavor of how I should get rid of. To attach to Krishna, detachment automatically comes. It follows immediately. There is no special effort for detachment. Okay, so saying that one, I would like to stop here and I would like to hear from all of you. You all have different experiences in Krishna consciousness, and actually, I'm honestly, I didn't have any time. When I called 7 o'clock, I had a meeting until 7:10. So Prabhu called me afternoon. So I didn't spend any time, just whatever came to my mind, I spoke. I request everyone pardon me if I have committed any offenses or anything bad. Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Is there Subal Prabhu?
Oh, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Nice class, Prabhu.
I don't know what nice Prabhu. I didn't even.
Oh, your class are always very nice.
I don't know. That's all Krishna's mercy. Prabhupada mercy. Prabhupada called literally 11 o'clock. I was so swamped with my work. So I thought, okay, I don't want to say no, because when opportunity comes to glorify Krishna, I don't want to say no. But I usually prepare, but today I literally came out of nowhere.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for taking my call and agreeing to give the class.
But I should do justification also. Sometimes I feel bad,
Actually, I thought of giving you in the Ekadashi so that,
Thank you so much.
Thinking myself. But then I thought of, give to other devotees. So thank you so much. Wonderful class. Yes, especially always, as always, it's a wonderful class. And thank you, dear devotees, for joining today, especially on this Ekadashi. It's very auspicious. And many new devotees joined today, and I could see that few names out there. Neena Mataji, I'm seeing first time.
Nina Mataji is our Bhakta Ved Prabhu's wife, right? Mataji, Abhi?
I'm here, Prabhuji. I'm sorry. Yes, yes.
Nina Mata.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Wonderful
Vaibhav.
class, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you.
Vaibhav's mother.
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji. Yes,
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
I'm
Yes.
seeing Vimal Gupta Prabhu. I don't
Oh,
know.
really?
Yeah.
Where is he? Vimal Gupta Prabhu.
They're
Where is he?
wonderful.
Oh, okay, nice. Vimal Prabhu joining.
Then Julia Mataji joined today.
So you said Julia Mataji is Jayadut Maharaj.
No, actually, Mataji just came first time to listen Jayadeva Maharaj, and Mataji is, back with, other devotees, and then of course today Mataji joined first time.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thanks. I hope, because when you come first to the class, it matters a lot. We should get the right message. So,
Wonderful. Very nice.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Any concerns? Any other comments or questions?
Please speak up, everyone. Everyone has experience. It's not just we are speaking, but we should also like to hear from all of you, because everybody, even if you chant one round, we have realization. So I would like to hear from you also. Vandana Mataji and everyone, please go ahead and open up. Vimal Prabhu done a lot of service, Prabhuji. Yeah. Akhilesh Prabhu is there.
Maybe when I see the face, no, but name, always.
Okay, yeah. I think you saw him. Akhilesh Tiwari Prabhu is there, Prabhu. Yeah. So nice to see all the devotees here. Nobody wants to talk today. They're only fasting for the stomach, not for the mouth, right, Prabhu, today?
No,
I just want to make sure. I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
That's wonderful. That's the wonderful way, Prabhuji, you said it. It's only fasting for stomach.
Yeah. My son,
No, Prabhuji, I really like the class. I know I used to attend your Buckfish class every week, but I missed it. But today I was home, so I said, let me join it. So that's very wonderful. I like
Mataji, here I'm not to hear about my class. I want to hear from all of you some points. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that, but
Yeah,
I want to hear from everyone, because everybody has experience in Krishna consciousness, Subal Prabhu, senior devotees are there. We would like to hear from them, everyone. Of course, Akhilesh Tiwari Prabhu is there. He gives classes too. Everybody has realizations. Everybody has something to definitely share with devotees.
Yeah, Prabhuji, wonderful, class, and then thank you so much, for nicely trying to engage. When you, what you said at the beginning, I really love that part, and that's so misunderstood about renunciation. That if one has to renounce, then we'll have to leave everything and then go in the jungle and then roam around naked and then try to stop all the activities. But with the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, all the Vaishnavas, Acharyas, it's such a nice understanding now that now you can be with your family, you can be with your kids, you can from outside it may not look like, but you could be one of the greatest renounced person in the world.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Very good point. Yeah. There's a lot of misconception about this liberation. Yeah. Very good point. Yeah.
Right, Rudy. So thank you so much for underlining that and then reiterating that once again.
Thank you so
much.
I think the one good part is actually just put together the liberation and renunciation. So it's, yes, pretty much of the same. Ones who renounce is renouncing is, this 6 anarthas, that is in one sense. Liberation also coming to the same line of renouncing or, getting rid of our 6 anarthas, which is
Right.
greed, anger, envy, jealousy,
Yeah.
and arrogance, competitions.
Now, what I would take the Prabhu, we don't have to put separate, never to give up. When you're attached to Krishna with these
Yes.
qualities, those are automatically diminished.
Yeah.
Because if you ask someone to give up something, it becomes a challenge. Rather than put positive way, hey, attached to Krishna with these qualities, other things are automatically diminished. That's the beauty of Krishna consciousness.
So by the devotion, it's automatically diminished,
Yeah,
and that's a
absolutely.
state. That's a stage. Is one can say that it's liberated. What is
Absolutely.
we are clenching to this material,
Yeah.
afflictions. This can gradually go away by the
Mm,
service. So,
right. Absolutely. Anybody else on the call would like to speak? Please, go ahead, talk.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I like the point you made about being in trance. What it actually means, being in trance is always thinking of Krishna. So that's a beautiful thing to put across.
Right. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That's a transparency.
Yeah, so like if you're in trance, like even if you're working or you're doing something else, subconscious you're still thinking of Krishna.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
So that probably brings you joy and
That's
pleasure.
true.
Even though example would be like you're thinking of going on a vacation. So the thought is all of going on a vacation is always at the back of your mind. So even when you're doing other things which are not so pleasurable, you're just thinking of going for a vacation, which gives you happiness. So I think we should come to the stage when we're subconsciously thinking of Krishna, and that's giving us pleasure, even though
Right. Absolutely. Actually, in the psychology, the subconscious mind works very, very powerfully. It's called demon process in the Unix environment, background process. Even the demon process goes on, demon. In the same way, our demon process is our subconscious mind. If I repeat the same shloka tomorrow, you all of say, Prabhu, looks like this shloka is done. Even though you look like you're not paying attention, means our subconscious mind is very powerful. It remembers a lot of things. That's why practicing Krishna consciousness, why Prabhupada say, why a whole TDK, if not this lifetime, next life, means you carry the imprints of this subconscious mind to the next lifetime, then you continue Krishna consciousness. It's a very, very powerful statement here. Thank you, Subal Prabhu. That's a good point.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
wonderful, wonderful. Anybody else has anything to add? Okay, so thank you so much.
Sure.
And a few announcements.
Mhm.
This Thursday is Snana Yatra. We mentioned on Saturday. It is the Lord's Jagannath's appearance day. And usually we say it as a Snana Yatra because that's the day Lord is getting a wonderful Abhishek. So we are also celebrating on our temple. It's Thursday, 24th, 7 to 9 p.m. So please take this opportunity to be part of the wonderful, wonderful devotional, services, to bid the Lord, to place the Lord, to come forward, to have darshan of the Lord. And this is the day devotees with their love and affections, they bid the Lord for long time. The Lord will be becoming sick. Can you imagine that Lord will be sick, So, but Lord is becoming sickness for the devotees' pleasure. So that Lord will receive a different types of service. That when a person's sick, they get more attention in the family, right? So, everybody, try to, see he's a sick person. Okay, let me take more attention, give more attention, give more special care. Maybe, some specific medicine, herbs and other things, and so much of concerns. So Lord is also becoming available to receive such a loving devotion from the devotees. So next 2 weeks after this Snana Yatra, Lord will become sick, and devotees offer the herbs and special, prasadam offerings, bhoga. And then after 2 weeks, Lord will be so rejuvenated. Lord comes out of and with this wonderful, wonderful dressings, and he's so jubilant to see his devotees, comes out and to see the devotees of the Lord. That's Rath Yatra. So we are having a Rath Yatra on July 11th at our temple, or we are applying a permit for the octree. We are already applied. So hopefully if we are able to get it, then we would have Rath Yatra on Octree Road on July 11th. That's our own Rath Yatra. And also July 17th, Atlantic City Rath Yatra. That's our annual Rath Yatra every year. So last year we didn't have because of the pandemic, and this year we are planning in a big way. So it's starting from New Jersey Avenue to Kennedy Plaza, and then we'll have cultural programs. And then tomorrow is the very auspicious day of Pani Hati Festival, Shiradida Pani Hati Festival. I think many of you know that. What is the importance of Pani Hati Festival? It's Sri Raghunatha Das Goswami was offering Chira, this dahi, and then it's chipped rice with dahi to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the devotees. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so pleased with the Sri Raghunatha Das Goswami. And that is celebrating tomorrow. Pani Hati is known as Pani Hati Festival. And it's a significance of that when serving others, everybody. It's a significance of service to everybody. Lord is so pleased. So we can also take the opportunity to serve the devotees and the Lord. That is tomorrow. And yeah, anything else? Yeah, that's it as an announcement. So please take part. And anything else? Anybody has any logical questions? Okay, so let's conclude then today's session. So let's pay our obeisance to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Vancha
Kalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaishnavendra.
And one more thing. Tomorrow morning, the fast breaking time is 5:25 to 10:27.
5:25 to 10:27.
Window, so that you can, those who taking fast, they can break on this time, and that's very auspicious as well. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sagandaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki,
Ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki,
Ki jai.
Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki
Jai.
Gaura Premanande.
Hare Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.